Washington's defense makes them so dangerous?
Oh, they just do a good job. They're a well-coached team, disciplined, fundamentally sound. And anytime you're playing with a team that does all the things that win in that regard, you got to go out and match that type of discipline and structure.
If their secondary as good as advertised, seems like NFL Scott says there's a lot of talent there in that secondary.
Yeah, good players with a lot of experience. I think anytime you got guys with that many snaps, you get a chance to be real good, and they do a really nice job.
Coach mentioned the other day Breland being back, Tony getting back in the mix. You feel like you're well equipped to kind of take your best shot on Saturday offensively?
Yeah, I think the reality of it is you never know. You never know who you're going to have. I think that's one thing that we're all coaching. Is you never know when someone else is going to have to come up and going to have to step up. It's nice having Breland back and Tony back in the mix, and I think they're going to add to what we have potential to do.
What has impressed you the most about C.J. Verdell from the beginning of the season to now?
I think just as a true freshman, as a redshirt freshman, but his first time starting, I think that the reality of it is it's just every week you get a chance to continue to be coached, and find out more and more about he's going to find out more and more about himself a lot, in those first few games, and having been through that, and we've all coached those guys at a young age, you just get a chance to see him grow, and he's done a nice job each week.
What do you think it is that is his biggest strength?
He's got a bunch of really good. He's got a lot of really good things. Obviously he's playing really well for us. His balance, body control, the way he works, and the way he practices is probably the biggest part. He practices really well. A guy who comes out and really puts in the work in the week, and I think it shows on Saturday. So I think for a young player, having that type of work structure is really the biggest thing that really stands out as a young guy. Most of the time, a lot of times that comes on later as you mature, but he's ahead of the curve, really.
At this point in the season, you get deeper into your playbook, maybe start showing things that teams haven't seen yet?
No, I don't know. I don't think that, I think there's a fine line between finding new things to give your guys and do a whole bunch of stuff you haven't done. I think anyone's going to find little tweaks in here and there, but outside of that, we're believers of doing things one way and having our guys really disciplined in what we do. Not a whole lot of brand new stuff. I'm not big on surprises for our guys.
Arroyo said too he wanted during the bye week position groups and each side of the ball to identify some specific things, 2-3 things to really focus on.
Sure.
And trying to overwhelm guys. What were some priorities for you last week?
Myself or for your
quarterbacks, for the offense, that based on your self-scout that you thought you could address in the first game?
Yeah, without being specific and give things away, obviously. I think more than anything there was little things like protection identification, little idiosyncrasies that may give things away and tells, fundamentals and technique. I think there's a lot of there wasn't anything on those lists by our group on offense that's all of a sudden brand new. It's almost a reset button, reset back to some fundamentals, and do some things that we're finding over the first few weeks that we may have not had a chance to catch your breath and see. And I think that's big. That's big for anybody who gets a chance to step back and look at yourself introspectively.
You're at home this Saturday. How much of an advantage does Autzen Stadium give you?
Best place in the country to play. There's no doubt about it. I've been to a lot of places. A lot of us coaches have. This is as good as it gets.
What have you seen from, I'm sorry if this is a repeat, but from the Washington secondary? Obviously on paper they might be the most talented group you faced this season.
Yeah.
What have you seen?
A lot of experience, a lot of reps. I mentioned it earlier. I think anytime you get a group with that many reps, you get a chance to, they got a chance to be a really good players, and they're coached well, disciplined group.
Murphy, Bryant, Miller, Rapp, multiple All-Americans in that group. What, without giving away much, are there adjustments you make schematically to try and put some of them out of position to try and capitalize a little bit?
Sure. Anything you can find schematically to give yourself an advantage, we're going to do. I think anybody would smart to do that without jeopardizing what your guys can handle, And I think those guys are all good players, and we got to go out there and do things right, do it our way.
With a linebacker as productive as Brett Kirven, do you have to find ways to kind of almost avoid a player? You're never afraid of an opponent, but avoid a guy who's got 75 tackles already in 5 or 6 games? Are there ways to get around a linebacker who seems to get in on every play?
We see Troy Dye every day. We're good.
After the last couple games for Dylan, do you expect maybe teams will pay a little closer attention to him?
You'd like to think so. I mean, he's doing a really nice job. You know, I think that we got to do things that fit our offense to continue to find ways to get in the ball, and I think he's done a really nice job of evolving throughout the season, and hopefully that continues.